to the Board Game Captain. I'm the Board Game Captain.
I'm Lynn.
And today we're going to be reviewing and showing you how to play The Girl and the Robot. Now, The Girl and the Robot is a 2 to 4 player card game based on a video game that neither of us have actually played the video game of. But this is, from a card game standpoint, this is an interesting deck manipulation, almost take that sort of card game. It is for ages 10 and up for 2 to 4 players, listed as for 30 to 45 minutes. This game is being published, and this is a limited edition they put out here to send to reviewers, but there will be a full edition being published once the Kickstarter is hopefully successful, by Flying Carpet Games.
Carpets. There's an S.
Is it? Flying Carpets? You're right. Flying Carpets Games. And the game is designed by Salim La Rochelle. So, okay. Now, that's a lot of info. This is a kind of fantasy-themed card game. It's got a little bit of a light anime feel to it. Obviously, the theme is meant to look very similar to, I guess, the video game. But, of course, we did not play that. But it reminds me a lot of some of the Miyazaki movies in its feel, and I do like that. Now, the ages 10 and up, I think they could go lower than this. I mean, what do you think?
I think 10 is good.
You think 10 is good? I think it could be maybe 8.
I would say 8 as long as they were the partner of someone. I wouldn't have an 8-year-old be the evil queen by themselves.
Okay, I could see that. Unless they're an advanced 8-year-old. Now, the 2 to 4 players, so this game actually plays thoroughly differently at 2, 3, and 4 players. And that's really interesting, and we're going to get into that a little bit when we're talking about the review. But yeah, it does actually play a full game at 2, 3, and 4 players. It's just the way it plays changes. Now, the 30 to 45 minutes, actually, I'd say most of our games are 30 minutes or less. Except for maybe the first one when we were learning it. It seems to go pretty quickly. Turns go pretty fast. And the deck tends to, unless you're playing that one card that, there's this one card that tells you on the card, don't use it unless you want a longer game. Unless you're playing that one card, eventually the deck's going to get pretty low and you're having to draw the demons, which are what cause you to get knocked out of the game. So without any further ado, let's open it up. And we'll have a look at what comes in the box. So the first thing is the lore book. Now, the lore book is a rule book plus. It's been an interesting thing. So you open it up and it starts off with the introduction to the story. Gives you an idea of what's going on in the world. It's got lots of illustrations with a explanation of the different characters, which is really kind of cool. This feels very generous to me on the part of the game company to include something like this, because this is something that's it's totally unnecessary, but it's nice and I like it. They also have the art of the cards and a little description beneath each of the cards. So it says the demon, and it says the kingdom is now cursed. Rumors say that demons lurk in the castle, And I love that. That's fun. They do that for all the cards, though usually with smaller pictures. And then what I really like is how they do the instructions in this book, which it starts off with little illustrations of the characters playing the card game, and then a description below of the rules. And this is hilarious. I don't know that I've ever seen someone do this before. I mean, not that I can recall, but I really like it. It was a very fun way to read the rules. And then if you just want to read the rules, much more matter of fact, without all the diagrams, or to have a quick refresher, they have all the rules on these two-sided cards here that are actually just literally all the rules of the game. I like it better with the illustrations, though. I think that. Of course you do. Well, it's awesome. I think the illustrations are great. So the cards are beautiful. The backs of the cards are meant that you could look at them either way and they show you a picture. This way, if you look at it this way, you see the girl walking along. But if you flip it over the other way, then you see the heads of the 2 robots and then what appear to be 2 different queens, one wearing a white dress and one wearing a black dress, standing back to back, which is kind of neat. The cards are kind of glossy finish, which I know is the kind you like to shuffle. And the illustrations are really nice, and the effects are clear and concise, and they make sense. Ability point cards just give you points to be able to activate the abilities on your character cards, etc. You'll see more of these out as we're playing. there are demon cards, which just say demon on them, and these are bad when you draw them. And there are starting character cards, which are two-sided because they'll have one side for if the character is by themselves and one side for if they're teamed up. Show the other card, the other side there. And also, there is a card that for when you're playing 3 or 4 players shows the direction of play. And that's kind of really it. That's really all of the components here. We're just going to head over to the table, I think, and we're going to run you through a game of this. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about how this game plays and how it feels. And we're going to rate it and review it. Okay, so here we can see a game of The Girl and the Robot set up for 2 players. I'm on this side of the table, and I'll be playing the girl.
I'm over here, and I'm the evil queen.
And now, to set up the game, it's fairly simple. What you need to do is for a 2-player game, which is our favorite way to play this game, is each of you takes your character card and sets it up on the side where it says Alone Abilities. So I have the girl on Alone Abilities. Lynn has the evil queen on Alone Abilities. We each take one basic sword card, which is a weapon we can use to defeat demons when they come up in the deck, and we start with that out on the table, and we shuffle up all the cards and deal out 5 cards for our starting hand. We then take the 4 demon cards, shuffle them into the rest of the other cards, and that makes our deck. So that way no one will start with a demon in your hand, because you should never have a demon in your hand. And then the way the game is played is on your turn, you're allowed to play any number of cards from your hand, which can either be action cards that you can play for their abilities, or can be point cards that you can play for their points, which allow you to activate the abilities that are on your card and on the side tell you how many points are required to activate them. You play any number of cards you like, and then you end your turn by drawing a card. Now, if you draw any normal card, you can add it to your hand. Also, weapon cards, which are similar to the basic sword, can just be played out onto the table and they will just stay there. However, if you draw a demon card, you either have to be knocked out of the game for drawing the demon, or if you have a weapon card, you can discard the weapon card to avoid being knocked out of the game. Either way, after you drew the demon card, you can put it face up back in the deck anywhere you want. So you're literally allowed to be like, okay, let me count down, and I want it to be 4 cards down in the deck, and you put it there. And then it's there again for someone else to draw. Again, as you reveal more and more demon cards, that's going to keep happening. And there's going to be a point where you're going to get knocked out of the game. In a 2-player game, if you're knocked out of the game, the other player wins, and that's it. I will explain what is different for a 3- and 4-player game at the end of this tutorial. But without any further ado, I think we're ready to get going. Now, the girl always goes first, regardless of the number of players. And regardless of the number of players, the girl is always one of the characters. So, since it's my turn to go first, I'm going to take a look. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the action card Manipulate. Now, Manipulate is one of my favorite cards in this game because it allows you to look at the top 3 cards of the deck and then put them back in the order of your choosing without revealing them. So your opponent doesn't know what you have just done, what you have just seen. So I'm going to take the 3 cards, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them back in this order, and then of course I have to draw a card because I'm not going to play any more cards from my hand, so I'm going to draw the top card into my hand, and I am done.
I'm going to play a weapon. I'm going to play the dagger.
Now, what is the dagger's special ability?
It says you may place this weapon on an ally's character instead of yours, and it cannot be taken with the weapon tax card.
There you go. So it's protected from weapon tax. Very cool.
And then I'm going to play the action Provoke. So you need to play 2 cards or discard 2 cards on your next turn.
Okay, fair enough.
And I am also going to do my 2-point ability, which is to look at the top 2 cards of the draw pile and then place them back face up in any order.
Ah, very good, very good.
I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to take that card.
Okay, so now I can fully see the next card since they were put face up in any order, and I can see that it is not one that will hurt me. But of course, keep in mind, I must play 2 cards this turn, exactly 2 cards, because of the Provoke action that Lynn took. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the King's Sword. Now, the King's Sword is a weapon that when you play it, you actually play it face down. The first time you would use it to defeat a demon, it's turned face up, and then the second time it's discarded, so it's a better version of the basic sword. It can actually be used twice, which is pretty awesome. And for my second card, I'm going to provoke you right back so that you are going to have to either play 2 cards or discard 2 cards on your turn. That's going to be it for me, and I'm going to draw that Scout card into my hand.
Okay. I'm going to play Steal, so I steal a random card from you.
Well, they're already randomized. I never put them in any order, so go ahead and take one. I wanted that card.
And then I'm going to use that card to do my...
Get 3 points and do one of your abilities?
Yes. I actually... yeah.
Which ability?
It's the reveal the top 2 cards.
Ah, you can do that again. Okay. Okay, well, at least I can see there is still not a demon coming towards me, which is nice. So on my turn, what I'm going to choose to do is not play anything. I'm just going to take the evade card.
I'm going to do the same thing, look at the top 2.
Okay, I'm going to do Scout, which allows me to look at the next 5 cards in the deck, but I must put them back in the exact same order that they were in. Now, of course, I know what the next 1 card is, 3, 4, 5, but I did not know what the rest were. Okay, now I have looked at them, I'll put them back. And I am just going to draw the next card here, which is the trade card.
I am going to spend 3 ability points for my 3rd ability. It says if the top card of the discard is an action card, I take it. So I'm going to take Scout. And then I'm going to use Scout.
Uh-huh.
Because I want to make sure I'm not...
You want to see what you're walking into?
Yes.
Well, we both know where that demon is now.
Yes, but I got 1 more card than you. So I know 1 more card down. And I'm going to take that one.
And you know you're okay, except I'm going to evade! Do not draw any cards this turn. And then, your turn.
So I'm going to play Gravedigger.
Uh-oh.
So I take the top card from the discard pile, and then...
Wait, no, I'm gonna cancel that.
Okay. Does that still... Okay.
I'm gonna cancel the Gravedigger, so you still have to draw. Because that would have made it so you didn't have to draw a card. You still have to draw a card.
And I'm gonna evade, so I don't draw any cards this turn.
Oh, man. I don't want to draw that card. I'm gonna smoke bomb. Boom! Which means I get to reshuffle the deck. A little tough because it's hard to keep track of where that card is when it's not face up. I'm going to give it a few shuffles though and hopefully wind up with it not on the top here. There we go, I hope. Go ahead and cut.
Oh. To
make sure it's fully random. Please don't be the demon. Please don't be the demon. Please don't be the demon. Not the demon! Yeah!
I'm going to do my 2-point ability to reveal the top 2 cards.
Damn it.
Okay.
Okay, that's not too bad. I'm going to do nothing and draw the magic mirror.
I'm going to use my action card, which is Steal.
Hold on. I'm going to shuffle them up because you just saw me draw the magic mirror. Okay, go ahead. Haha! It was not the magic mirror.
Okay, I still need to draw. Right?
You do. No demon, huh?
Nope.
Okay. All right, I'm going to play Magic Mirror, which means you reveal your hand, and I get to play the effects of one of the action cards from your hand. Crap. The only thing you have is trade. All right, well, here you go. We trade those cards, and you gave me the trade. All right, I'm going to draw. It's not the demon. Okay.
I'm going to spend 2 ability points to reveal the top 2 cards.
And rearrange them, huh?
And place them face up in any order. Ooh. Well, I'm going to do this.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. All right, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to grab the Lone Wolf because I like the Lone Wolf.
I'm going to play the Pendant, which is a weapon, and it's played face down.
Okay. I'm going to play the Lone Wolf card, which allows me to use one of my Lone abilities for free. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reveal the bottom 2 cards of the deck and put them back on top of the deck in any order. They're apparently a couple single-point ability cards, so nothing too crazy there.
Face up? Or?
Yep, face up.
Okay.
It's just like your one, except from the bottom instead of the top.
Okay. You have to draw.
Oh, indeed I do. So I'll get a 1-point ability card.
I have no cards, so I'm going to draw.
You're going to draw. I'm going to play Scout, which lets me look at the next 5, so at least I can see what I'm walking into. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I unfortunately don't get to reorganize them. So I get this one, you get that one, I get this one, you get that one, I get this one. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just going to draw.
Okay, I'm going to draw 2 because I can't do anything else.
Okay. I'm going to draw.
I'm going to gamble and play an ambush. I don't draw, you take 2 turns.
Oh, no! All right, what's funny is it doesn't actually change anything. I was in trouble anyway. It's not your card that's the problem. It's my next card, and I had gotten nothing to fix it. All right.
Well, I just gave you a card that you.
You did. You actually might have helped me. In fact, you did. So I'm gonna play on my. That's my first turn, as I just drew. My second turn, I'm gonna play Gravedigger, which is I draw the top card of the discard pile instead of drawing this turn. So I'm going to take back the ambush and then discard that.
And then is this the demon?
Oh, yeah. It's the demon.
So I screwed myself.
You did.
Okay, well, I'm going to discard my basic sword.
Okay, so basic sword goes bye-bye. And where is that going on the deck, though, now?
Well, you took the thing. So maybe...
Gonna put it a little further down, not right on top. Give yourself a chance to draw some more cards. 6 cards down. Okay, well, I'm going to activate, with 2 points, I'm going to activate my ability to take the 2 cards off the bottom of the deck and put them on top revealed in any order that I see fit. I reveal a Deal with a Demon. And then a Smoke Bomb. So I'm going to put the Deal with the Demon up top because I want that. That's a good card.
I can't do anything with my 1 card, so I'm just going to take the Smoke Bomb.
Okay, I am going to draw.
I'm just going to draw as well. Okay.
Okay, I am going to draw.
I'm going to play a Manipulate.
Oh, no.
Oh, he's face up. He stays face up, right?
Yeah, he should. Well, Manipulate has you put him back face down.
Face down.
So actually,
yes.
Yeah, I won't know where he is now. Oh. Bugger. All right, I'm going to play a Deal with a Demon. So after I play this card, if I draw a demon this turn, I set it aside on the table and place it, set it aside on the table, and then I can place it face up anywhere in the draw pile during any of my other turns. Or, if this were a multiplayer game, I could place it in if I had died. So, did you put the demon right there? I'm pretty sure you did. You did. So I'm going to set it aside for use a little later. Da-da-dum.
This is my turn.
Your turn. That's a great card. I love to deal with the demon.
I'm going to play Lore. I searched the draw pile for a demon.
Uh-oh.
And then I shuffled the draw pile and placed the demon face up under the top 2 cards.
Uh-oh. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he goes face up under the top 2.
All right, it's actually coming back at you right now, isn't it?
Yeah. I think that's better for more than 2-player games.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the Cursed Sword on you, which is a weapon. You can use it, but of course, while you have it in play, it has the curse, which is that
you can't use any abilities.
Can't use any abilities, and you can only play 1 card or discard 1 card on your turn. Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to hit you with a weapon tax, and I'm going to steal this weapon, the lovely pendant. Very nice. Because you had more weapons than me, because mm-hmm. I'd given you that Cursed Sword. Mm-hmm. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just draw this here card.
I'm going to smoke bomb the
draw
pile.
So you're going to reshuffle her, huh? The deck's getting small. Those demons are coming up.
Yeah.
Okay, so on my turn, I'm going to put my Demon of Held on the side in 2 cards down, and then just draw my card.
I'm going to smoke bomb again.
Oh my god, that's great. That's absolutely hilarious. Okay, I'm going to play a Manipulate. I get the next 3 cards, one of which is that demon. And I'm going to rearrange him and draw a card.
The demon was face up, though.
But the Manipulate puts him face down, though.
I'm going to play Trade.
Okay. Here you go. We just traded the same cards. We each traded a 1-point card for a 1-point card. That's hilarious.
Oh, I can only do 1 card.
That's right.
Because
of the Cursed Sword. And it's the demon, but you can get rid of the Cursed Sword at least. So where's he going?
There's another face-up demon.
Yeah, you knew that because you had reshuffled it twice. There's 2 face-down demons in there somewhere, too. Oh, you put them all the way to the bottom. Well, that's interesting. Okay. Well, I'm going to do... You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to play... I'm going to play this 3-point ability card here, and I'm going to take the bottom 2 cards off the deck and put them on the top, back, face up, in any order. Oh my god! They're both demons! And then I'm going to play Ambush. I choose not to draw, and the next player takes an extra turn. Now, is this game?
Yes, because one takes my dagger, and then
the other one will kill you. So that is game. Wow, that was fun. I'm definitely putting that whole game in the video because that was really cool. So that was how you play a game of the girl and the robot. Now, at 3 players, what happens is you have 2 players playing the girl and the robot on one side, and they are set to the team abilities side, while the other player playing the Evil Queen gets an extra ability that says it is only used if both the girl and the robot are out, and it allows them to draw an extra card at the end of their turn. So early on, when there's a very little chance of drawing demons, they can get a bunch of extra cards in their hands, and gives them an ability to really fight off that 2-on-1 fight. Now, the 4-player game has the Evil Queen switching to her team abilities side and also gaining the Shadow Robot versus the girl and the robot on their team ability sides. And again, everybody starts with one of the basic weapons. And in the 3- and 4-player game, in addition to the other rules that we all showed you, the girl who goes first also decides which way the turn order is going to be. And there are some of the cards that reference that they also allow you to switch the turn order to sometimes totally mess with your opponent's plans. And that's really all that gets added in the 3- and 4-player games. So let's head back over, and we're going to talk about how this game plays and how it feels, and then we're going to rate it and review it. Okay, welcome back. So that was how you play a game of the girl and the robot. So first thing I want to talk about is how unique this play style is. It kind of feels like it's evolved from the concept of the old school take that card games, but it's not really a take that card game. Most of the effects you play are not directly attacking the other players. It's more, there are some where it's like, okay, you got to play with your cards face up on the table, or you have to play with them.
Steal a weapon.
Or you can steal a weapon from someone.
Steal a card.
But it's much more about deck manipulation. Because you're, especially once you know where the demons are, you're manipulating it so your opponent's going to have to draw them, whether they know it or not. And, and constantly turning that around on your opponent. Suddenly they think they're going to have to draw it, and you think they're going to have to draw it, but then they play a card and they skip their draw phase, and now you have to draw it. And drawing the demons causes you to lose weapons if you've accumulated them, and if you're out of weapons, you die. And it's pretty unique. I mean, I don't know. Have we ever played another game that plays with that kind of because I would say almost half, maybe even more, of the deck is cards that manipulate the deck. And the abilities too, a lot of the character abilities. That whole pick up 2 cards, put them back in any order face up on top of the deck. I mean, that's it's a lot of deck manipulation, And then cards that don't, there's a lot of things where it's like skip drawing, so that then your opponent's going to have to draw it anyway, or change the turn order, or make it your opponent's turn now, make them take 2 turns, things like that. And really what it all comes down to is forcing them to draw the cards you don't want to draw. Because those are the demons.
Yes.
Have we played anything else that plays like that?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's pretty unique and delightful. I really like this weird play style of the whole concept of deck manipulation and messing with the turn order. So before we get into positives, though, we usually like to start with some negatives. So do you have any negatives you want to talk about?
Yes.
Is this going to be the one you told me before?
Yes.
Okay, I think this is ridiculous, but okay, go ahead.
Well, maybe it'll be easier to show it.
Oh, that's probably a good idea.
Because it has to do with the cards. They're set up like a normal playing card where it has... like on a card, it would have the number,
or the symbol for queen or jack,
or the K or the J or whatever. But with this one, it has, most of them have text on it, and like half the time I was drawing it this way, and I was like, oh, an action card, and then I would start reading, and then realize it was upside down, and I'm like, oh, I have to turn it over. And
this feels like a very minor gripe to me because you could just turn it over.
Right, but what is even the point of putting it there?
Well, it's a reference to a normal deck of playing cards.
Right, but it's not necessary unless they're gonna have the blurb double mirrored like that. Like, what is even the point? Like, it's pointless. All it is annoying.
I think we need to add this to your list of gaming pet peeves, because this is like it doesn't really even affect the gameplay at all. It's kind of it's a weird gripe to have today.
It's annoying, and I would go as far to say is inconvenient, because you think that it's right set up and it's not. Like, why is it even there? It shouldn't even be there.
Well, we've both stated our opinions. I think we can move on from this particular gripe. You don't like that you accidentally were sometimes drawing them upside down and you thought they were right side up because of how they did it like a playing card, and I think that's a very minor gripe in my opinion. I didn't even think of it as a problem. My gripe I have is specific to, not to the 2-player game that we showed in the tutorial, because that's my favorite way to play this, but in the 3 and 4-player game. And my gripe I have for this game, and I think it's my only gripe, is that it has player elimination. Now, it's not terrible, because the gameplay is usually roughly around half an hour, and by the time someone's eliminated, you're probably about 15 minutes in. So at the most, they're sitting around twiddling their thumbs for another 15 minutes, maybe 20 if they got eliminated really early. But generally speaking, I hate it when you play a game that's 3 or 4 players where there's player elimination, because again, they don't get to enjoy the rest of the game. I would have liked it if instead there was like, you know, a set, okay, the game ends here, no one was ever eliminated, but this team wins. Now that being said, like I said, it isn't a huge amount of time to be sitting around, but I still feel this is a valid gripe. I mean, what is your thoughts on that?
Yeah.
I love how you have nothing to say about that, but your gripe was, sometimes I draw the cards backwards. And that you went on for like ever. You're like, it's terrible. I drew the card upside down. But then when like I talk about a legit gripe about player elimination, you're like, yeah, whatever.
Mine is legit.
Okay, yours is legit. All right, but you don't think my gripe?
Yeah, it's annoying. I would agree, it's annoying, and maybe they could have thought harder
on finding a way to just have one team win and the other team lose. All right. That being said, though, that has no effect on the 2-player game, which is where I really enjoy this game at. I really enjoy it when you and me are just playing heads up on this. Now, you probably saw from our tutorial portion of this video, we played a whole game of this, and there's a lot of laughing and acting out and making silly sounds between us. And the big reason for that is this is fun. You get really into this. It doesn't feel like you're being attacked. It just feels like you're being like one-upped. Like you go, haha, now you're going to have to draw the demon. Like, I'm going to skip drawing. Now you're going to draw the demon. Like, I'm going to reshuffle the deck. And it's funny. And it's just fun. It's a very simple game. This game is very easy to learn, but it's quite enjoyable, I think. I mean, what are some positives you've got about the game? Was that bothering you?
Yeah, well, I mean, they want to see it.
All right, so what is your...
You always leave flat.
How dare I? You're right, I should be flogged. So what are some positives you've got about the game?
Well, it's quick. And it also... It doesn't seem like... I guess it is quick, and it doesn't seem like you're playing for that long.
It feels even quicker than it is.
Yeah.
Is what you're trying to say.
Yes.
So in other words, you're enjoying it. You're having fun. It goes fast. It feels fast. Turns don't take a long time.
No.
The other thing that I think is really cool is just like I said, that whole... there's an interesting dynamic. So I talked about how the deck manipulation is the biggest part of this game. One thing I find really amusing and really interesting, you might have seen it some in our tutorial portion, is... Sometimes you'll just be like, haha, the demon goes right back on top of the deck, so you have to draw it. Other times you're like, no, I need to get some cards. So you're going to count ahead. Okay, I'm going to draw this one, then you're going to draw that one. Then I'm going to draw this one, then you're going to draw that one. Then I'm going to draw this one, and that's where the demon goes. Because you're like, I'm almost out of cards, and I need some cards, so I can maybe draw a weapon, or I can manipulate the deck some more. And I find that really interesting because there'll be a period where in most games where we're like, haha, next card, haha, next card, haha, next card. And then you're running out of cards. You're like, never mind, put it 6 down. And I always find that really interesting, that kind of dynamic. And the deck manipulation is really, really kind of cool. And I love how as the deck shrinks, inevitably, proportionately, those 4 demons are going to be a much larger percentage of that deck as it's getting smaller and smaller. Because every time you draw the demon, it goes back into the deck. There's only that one card that takes it out for a little bit, and eventually it goes back in anyway. But the rest of the cards are disappearing. They're getting discarded. And as long as you're not using that one card that lets you reshuffle, which we don't generally use, because I think the deck I think the game is a perfect amount of time for not overstaying its welcome without that particular card, which is like, it's called the Act 2 card. So without that, I think it's like the perfect amount of time. I think that makes it go a little too long. So we did try it once with it. And, but yes, and then eventually, yeah, you're getting really short on cards. and you know the couple of demons you haven't discovered are in there, and the other two are face up, and you know exactly where those are, and it gets riskier and riskier for drawing the other ones you haven't found yet until they're all face up or until someone runs out of weapons, basically. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, what else can we say about this? I think the abilities they put on the cards are incredibly appropriate for the type of the game that it is. The deck manipulation abilities, the skipping turn abilities, the forcing someone to take extra turn abilities. These all work together in a wonderful synergy with the other abilities in this deck, as well as the abilities on the cards. Trying to literally set it up as you plan ahead to be like, okay, on your next turn, you're drawing the demon. And you don't even know it because it's face down. And I use that one card that lets me put him back face down to do it. And then your opponent's like, wait a minute. Did you just see something in there when you did that card? Am I about to draw the demon? Ooh. And then they play something to try to look and try to rearrange it too. And I like how sometimes that's face up and sometimes that's face down. So that sometimes you know what's coming and sometimes you don't. And that also is an interesting dynamic. What else do you think we can say about this game?
It's just fun.
Okay, fair enough. I've been thoroughly enjoying this. We've played it about 4 or 5 times now, at all different player counts. Again, I like it best at 2 players. I do still find the player elimination a real gripe. Do you want to go first or second ratings? Okay, how many stars out of 10 are you going to give the girl and the robot?
I'm going to give it an 8.
That was a slow play. You were like real quiet. And then you're like 8, because that's a huge score. Yeah, it's just very high. Yeah.
Okay.
You're such a hipster. So
Whatever.
8 out of 10 stars. What goes into now? That's a really high rating. What goes into you giving it an 8?
It's interesting. And I do like how it's like you're not really like aggro attacking the other people.
No, it doesn't.
You're just sort of like messing with them.
Yeah, I never feel like I'm being attacked. When people set it up so I have to draw the demon, I groan and I laugh. And I enjoy myself. They found a way to make it like kind of a take that style, not feel like you're being picked on. And I think that's pretty amazing. So 8 stars out of 10 for you. So I'm going to give the girl and the robot 7.5. I'm not quite there with you, but I'm very close. I'm only half a star off. I really like this game. I think if it wasn't for the player elimination, I probably would have been an 8. But I still really like it at 2 players. And this is a game I would love to play all the time with you. And I'm glad you like it as much as you do. It's just a heads-up game. Like, in fact, also, and we didn't really mention this at all, but this is a great small footprint game where we could bring this to, like, the pub or coffee house. I mean, it's definitely a good... it's a fairly small box. You could just put it in your purse. It might be a bit big for a pocket, maybe a coat pocket. Might fit in a coat pocket, but it doesn't take up a lot of room on the table. We could totally play this at the pub or coffee house. So this is a great pub or coffee house game. So this is a 2 thumbs up review from us here at the Board Game Captain. 8 and 7.5 stars respectively. We both really enjoyed this game. So again, another big thank you to Flying Carpets Games. Am I saying that right? Flying Carpets Games, yes.
There's no other way to say it.
I keep forgetting the plural thing, though. So it's Flying Carpets Games. Thank you very much to Flying Carpets Games for sending us this game to review and to do a video on. They're planning to have the Kickstarter go up at the end of October. We are filming this during October, and hopefully we'll have this video out fairly shortly. But they told me that even though the game is not in production yet, this limited edition box is really how it's going to look when it's in production. And I believe them. The rules are really well hammered out. It doesn't feel like any adjustment is needed. This, if no one told me that this was not a production game, I would have thought this is a production game. This is fantastic. Yeah. So, I mean, I think they're way ahead of where many other companies are when they do a Kickstarter. This is ready to go. They just need the money to produce it, is really all they're looking for. So, yeah, big thumbs up to the designer. You did a really good job on this one. We really like it a lot. Big thumbs up to the artists also because, you know what, this game looks beautiful and is charming in its art style. I might have to try the video game now, actually. I like the look of this so much. But there you have it. If you enjoyed this review and tutorial video, be sure to give it a like, share it on all forms of social media. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Board Game Captain. That's Captain spelled with a K on YouTube. hit that little bell icon on my channel so you get alerts every time I upload a new video. And feel free to comment down below if you would like to ask any questions either on this video or on The Girl and the Robot, the card game. And again, subscribe to the Board Game Captain, Captain spelled with a K, on YouTube. And until next time, game on.